make your way down through the gardens where you see Cousin Martin is down there practicing. He absolutely lights up when he sees the two of you in your tennis whites. There's no sign of Lyle. The servant actually looks a little bit relieved that Cousin Martin's going to have some playmates instead of just him. Outside the tennis courts, there is no fence around these courts. It's just an open clay court. And you've got racks of rackets off to the side. You've got a basket of balls. And then you have this red liveried attendant standing there.
Oh, man.
In his polished dress shoes and his full-length black trousers.
Sweating to the oldies. You know, it's just such a miserable thing, especially because Blanka's now going to be playing tennis, and that ball is going to go wherever it wants to.
Martin makes a run at the net. Looks like he's going to jump over it and then stops and steps over it. Then he comes trotting up to you, and he just seems absolutely delighted. And he says, we'd do doubles, but I don't know where Lyle has gotten himself off to. He wandered off toward the stables. We were supposed to play tennis. But the two of you are here now. We can do singles and do a round robin, whatever you prefer.
Round robin.
He's completely forgotten your name because I don't think he ever met you.
We have Cousin Martin. We have Banny.
Banny's not there yet.
Oh.
Banny's not there yet? I wasn't going out alone. What are you, stupid?
I thought Banny was leading this.
Oh, no,
parade.
I totally am leading this parade. I'm all like,
right.
You know.
Then you're in front.
Okay, I'm in front. Who else is dressed in whites? Tennis whites.
Robin.
Oh, Robin.
Oh, you got into whites too, Blanka?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Blanka.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's why I thought too. Yeah.
Blanka's still stunned seeing Robin wearing something other than black or gray.
Yeah. Hey, she loves tan. Shut up. And two nights ago, she was in a stunning red dress. So,
well,
but anyway,
red, black. I mean, come on.
Red, black.
Yeah.
Bjorn is watching appreciatively at the short tennis skirts and the legs that are on display. He's quite happy about that.
I'm just gonna.
He looks a little out of place standing out here with the four of you.
What language? He's speaking Icenian.
Who's that? Martin?
Martin. Yeah, Martin's Icenian.
It's Cornish.
Cornish. Sorry.
Broken. Yeah, that's great.
But it's not the mangled Irish Cornish. So you can understand Martin when he speaks.
In a very basic way.
Huh. He's delighted that there are now enough to have a doubles match.
You speak Alemenberg?
Oh, heavens no, darling.
All right.
I'm not in banking. And I won't be. Boys against the girls?
That's not sporting.
I'm going to when I hear him chime off like that, I'm going to rattle off in Alemenberg. Here's your pretty boy for you, Robin.
Well, he's eyeing Blanka at this point, and he asks you, Blanka, would you care to be partners?
Smile. He's underage. He's into underage.
What was that, Blanka?
Yeah, I will ally myself with Cousin Martin.
Cousin.
You pair up across the court, and Cousin Martin looks over at Banny. There to make it interesting, old boy.
You want me to pound you into the dirt? I mean, what do you want from me? I reach into my back pocket and I pull out my wallet.
Oh,
raise
put
up
that
a
away.
hand.
I know you're good for it.
Cousin Martin. Sorry.
Yes, darling.
I'm overly familiar in calling you cousin. Friend. Can we make the wager something more interesting? I know there's a hunt going on at 1. Will you be joining us?
Oh, absolutely. You bring the bottle, I'll bring the pistols.
pistols.
So, on
Tempting.
that measure, for each point lost, perhaps a beverage is consumed. Therefore, the hunt becomes more difficult for those who failed at the morning task.
Oh, interesting. You should say that, dear lady. The colonel always insists that our first stop be in Roundstone for drinks.
Oh, well, perhaps we should change the wager then. Drinking is not the measure of this moment. Um, who is the hunt master, and does he have good guns?
Oh, Mr. Pedreg has the finest guns. It's Grandpa Pa's firearms, and of course Father's firearms. But
You,
Mr. Pedreg cares for all of them.
you
He's
probably know the armory well, right? There are guns in his collection that are less accurate than the others.
they're all world class, but I'm certain that Mr. Pedreg could point out the ones that are better and worse.
The losers of this contest have to take the worst guns from the armory.
Oh, chin chin.
You do
Very
realize
well.
that you're playing
Good with you,
against
old boy?
us, correct? You're playing
Oh,
against.
I know. This is a shit show on this side of the net.
I mean, like, Robin can cross in a single move action the entire width of the tennis court.
Well, the best part is that I take a racket and I say, "This is a nice one," and I toss it to Robin, like hand over like this, and she catches it in midair. Okay, yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, well,
I mean, she's very dexterous, yes, but she's never played tennis.
it doesn't matter. You can still catch something out of the air.
Yes,
I'm just
that's
gonna.
true.
I toss it to you with
Let me see
a
how-
pretty solid 26.
Okay.
So
Were
you,
they?
Martin approaches the net and motions you over, Banny.
Oh
And
my
he
God!
says-
I wasted a natch on that. She catches
She didn't even look.
Quite impressive.
without looking. She's just like, that's awesome. That's awesome. She's like, what? Oh.
Okay,
And then
I'm
she
gonna
starts
take us
looking
out for
at
a
it
moment.
like,
You know that
what do I do
commercial
with
where the
this?
mom's sitting there in the lawn and the kids kick the ball towards her and she reaches up and grabs
Yep.
it? That's the moment.
Martin says, Martin is all of 20 years old, and Martin leans in and he says, you may be low on funds, old boy, I understand, but I would never want to embarrass you in front of the ladies. Shall we put 100 quid on the side for this? I know you're good for it.
absolutely. That sounds.
Very well. Per match?
You
not
up
perception.
for it?
Always up for it. Right then, off we go, lob for serve. And the four of you begin to play tennis. Blanka, have you played tennis before?
I probably had lessons. I was not a good student. I did it.
Danny knows
because
how
I
to
had
play
to, not
tennis,
because-
but
What?
Robin's played no tennis.
Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna do a quick coach,
Mm-hmm.
like an aid, but continue before we go that route. Well, unless that's what we're supposed to do is to
That's
coordinate.
a great point. That's a great point.
Which one of you has a higher athletics score?
Well, this is my game. She probably has a higher athletics though.
13 is my athletics. You better?
We're
Ty?
You're slightly better than me. I'm
So,
at a 12 right now.
The rules give you what, a +2 if somebody is helping?
If you make the check.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so your number is a 15.
Right.
What's your athletics, Blanka?
My athletics is an 11.
And she's a
Looks
wizard.
like,
And she's a
Person
wizard.
Martin's is a 17.
Woo!
So the two of you have a 28.
Oh, that's cool.
+2 for the helping is 30. And you guys have, what, a 15?
13 plus 12 is 15 plus 2, like you just did.
I have to roll the
Well,
aid check,
he's just
right?
doing it, and he's just doing it. Like, he's just scoring it. So 13 plus 12 is 25, plus 2 would be 27 versus their plus
Actually,
30.
I did that wrong. You guys have a 15. He has a what did I say, a 19?
A
We said
17.
17 for him.
So you guys have a 19, you have a 15. So
What I was hearing you say is he has a 17 plus her 11. I know you weren't doing
I
it quite
added them instead of just adding +2.
plus
to
2.
the
So
higher score.
19 is theirs, and 13 plus 2 would be 15. Yeah. So 19 versus 15.
So one of your teams decide you're going to be the one to roll the d20 and then apply your modifier as you play
How
your
you feeling?
first
How you feeling?
your first match.
You're the one who just rolled a 20. Maybe I should
Yeah,
start.
but I just burned it.
Yeah. Maybe I
just
should
burned it on
start.
the catch.
So I guess I'm serving at this point. So I go over to the edge and I serve it up.
This will be a roll for the whole match.
Oh, it'll
Yeah,
be for the whole match?
That's fair, right?
The whole
Okay.
match.
So
Cutting it down.
it's a 13. So 13 plus 15?
That's good.
28.
Do it. Yeah.
Blanka.
Oh, represent.
Represent.
Ooh, I rolled a 16 plus our number.
Oh, they just win.
Plus
They win.
19 is 35. You destroy.
Hey, it's within. Is that within 5? Anyways, yes.
You destroy Team Banny Robin.
And mostly it's mostly because, of course, I mean, despite the coaching, Robin doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
Yeah. Okay.
No, there's
So,
that.
I mean, totally embarrassing. She really tries to control her embarrassment. You can detect she starts turning red and she starts getting angry.
So
And then it just gets worse. It just gets worse.
No, I'm going to do a diplomacy at this point because knowing now how completely not familiar she is with this, I'm going to go over and I'm going to pull not only the diplomacy but also this is how I trained people. I would talk them down and I would give them the basics and I'd overview everything and
But how was that in?
You have to get it in the line. You can't
No,
touch
no, no,
the
no,
lines.
no. How was that shot that he did in?
Sometimes we don't pay attention to what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
Are you having fun, darling? Martin asks.
Oh, I do a really poor job at diplomacy, so she's going to be pissed. And
Another
still at
match, old
17.
boy? Tossing the ball.
Yes.
Will serve.
Blanka can't help
honors.
but being caught up in the fact that she's on the winning side of an equation she thought she was going to lose.
She's just a little competitive.
Oh God, it's getting bad. She's trying not to gloat, but it is so obvious that she's happy that those two are losing.
And Blanka serves. For match number 2. If you get a natch, you
Just whiff it.
blank out the other team. You completely blank them.
She
May
tosses
I
the
roll,
ball a couple
Eric?
times,
Eric?
playing with the little felted surface, spins the racket.
You're a pro at this, huh?
Oh no!
Hubris! That's a 5 plus what was that?
19,
I only have an 11 though.
24. What did you guys get?
I only got an 11 plus what
Plus
is it?
15.
All right, 26.
You squeak out a win.
Latest.
And she's like,
Yeah.
so from the verge of doing a McEnroe throw the racket and like now Robin's like, yes.
I do a polite cough, and I look at Robin, and then I look at Martin. Shall we go one more round?
Oh, yes. We're even, so let's double our wages. Shall we? 200 quid?
It sounds safe.
You see your big Viking friend standing over there shaking his head, muttering that this is the most stupid game he's ever seen. And the poor footman is the one that has to race back and forth and all around to retrieve the balls.
Right, and there's no fence even, yeah.
There's no fence.
I am going to be unconscionable and turn and look at Robin and say, "You're better than him, right?"
Robin's in his face. Robin is in your face. She is like turned on right now. It's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this, right? Yes. I just got this.
Wait. Do what? You need to clarify right now. Hey.
I know. Don't look at me. Right? Look at Robin.
Throw a little glare over that way. See if you can scare the bejeebus out of that guy.
I got to tell you guys, I've been RPGing since I was in junior high. I've never GM'd a tennis match, and it's awesome.
And it's the first time we're like, yeah, oh yeah, you want some of
There's
this?
so much machismo for a tennis
Dirty
match.
love, bitches.
Yeah, exactly. It's going down. Oh, you want it? Okay, so
I'm asking
Robin
you
is
to
going to do an intimidating glare at
Martin.
Mr. Fon, whatever, sorry.
Cousin Martin?
At the cousin. Is this based off of, it's not off of diplomacy, is it?
No, it's intimidate. It's intimidate. There's an intimidate skill.
I know, and she has actually a non-verbal, being the war orphan she is.
Intimidation's based on your charisma.
Yes, I see. She has a skill. Sorry. Okay, she has the skill.
You better
and it's,
have a skill.
Non-verbal. It's just the
It's a glare.
I must break you. It's just the I must break you look. Not extremely unseemly. 22 is the intimidate glare total. Depends on his defense.
Blanka, strangely, you absolutely see the intimidation coming off of Robin. Your tennis partner kind of takes a step back and looks unsure of himself. You see him swallow and almost stumble.
Tap my racket on the court, walk over his direction, put my back to our opponents, set my racket down, take his hands. She seems dangerous. She's never played before. This is her first time on a court. They got lucky last time. Holding his hands, pressed into him, haste.
Son of you bitch!
Bitch!
Oh.
So your intimidation would have subtracted 1 or 2?
Probably
Is it
2.
2?
Probably.
Well, he got a critical fail. He got a 1.
Oh shit!
Oh well.
But he can move double as fast. But yes.
Right.
Can I see he's just a shell? He's just like...
Yeah, he got totally thrown off his game by whatever Barbie war orphan look she gave him.
Grab his hand and squeeze it. Command, if you don't play like this is your last day on Earth, I will break you into pieces and throw you into your family plot.
Oh my god!
Which almost all of it goes by him because command is like 1 or 2 words.
Yeah.
So all he got was like, if you,
Play hard!
and you hasted him. So that's going to, between her intimidation, his critical fail, and your haste, we're going to call it a wash.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Who's going to serve on Team Benny Robin?
Actually, I mean, I'm gonna roll. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You were receiving last time, though. Well. Okay.
So to speak. It's still
And
glaring.
here it comes. 15.
That's a great roll.
It is a great roll.
Plus 15 is 30.
Hey, we gave it good. I mean, that was a very good roll. Good job.
You got to counter that offense? Come on,
You got a 4 advantage.
Here it goes.
Shut up, bitch.
Here it
Roll.
goes.
Booty stockings win. I rolled a 7.
Oh.
That's a 26. You lose. And Team Benny Robin is triumphant.
Robin is not, she doesn't know how to be this polite, like, oh, very good game. No, she is a jumping fury of 27-year-old. Fuck yes!
as soon as she does that, though, I'm like, let
me give myself
decorum. Sorry, that was
Martin
probably loud.
is such a basket case between being intimidated and feeling like he's been doing cocaine. He doesn't approach the net to be congratulatory. He's just not sure how to behave. And you see the Viking just shaking his head and pulling a flask out of his coat. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
I say, 200. You're good for it, right?
Yeah.
We're out.
Oh my God, I love this game. I love this game.
You're a natural. You're a little reckless, but you're natural.
I mean, did you see that?
I did.
Shake hands over the net.
What do you do now?
Walk over to the net. We have to go and congratulate our... I stand back. I let Robin and Blanka meet.
Just meet.
I will just shake Robin's hand, but I'm going to glare at Danny for being a coward.
I'm going to walk up and... Wait.
Martin is having trouble putting his racket back and actually knocks like 6 or 7 out across the court while he's trying to do it. And of course, the servant is right there to pick everything up, and Martin just kind of gives a half-assed wave and starts to wander back through the gardens towards the house.
Robin takes...
looking over his shoulder quite a bit at Robin. He walks very quickly, too.
Yes, extra fast. Blanka, and like Robin, how could she not see the effects of the haste, even if it was like... But so Robin like takes Blanka's hand and sees her glare towards Banny, and she semi-chills a little bit and says, oh my God, I love this game.
Don't get used to winning. Don't get used to winning.
Against you or in general?
It was great.
That look! She smiles very wickedly at you, and you like get the big eyes.
I'd like all 3 of you to roll a perception, please.
Those eyes.
20. I'm on
30.
I'm 35. I am.
Oh,
Pop. You're 20. You're 20 as well.
Yeah.
30.
20 total or
20 total.
Oh, okay.
You rolled a natch?
I rolled
with
a nat.
their all one of them would have to do is give you an elbow, and you could see it too. What the 3 of you notice, Bjorn notices nothing because he's nipping at his flask and still trying to figure out this stupid game. Across the road is a very large stables. It's 2-story. It's got the big cupola on top of it. And what you see emerging from behind the stables to the right is Lyle, dressed in his tennis whites, holding the hand of a girl in a very voluminous white silk dress. She's blonde. Can't really tell from this distance if she's beautiful. She certainly seems to have a nice figure. They look like a couple of lovers, and you hear her giggling a little bit. The 2 of you notice that her entire right shoulder, her shoulders are exposed all the way down the arms. Her entire right arm is covered in what you would equate to a complex blue tribal tattoo. Lots of swirls and curls, and you don't remember the last time you saw a woman in 1935 with a tattoo, except in the brothels.
I glance over at Blanka and Robin to see if they both see what I'm seeing.
Did 30 catch it?
Smolder.
Hey,
The 2 of them join into a very passionate, grabby kiss, and then she breaks away from him, blows him a kiss, and moves back behind the stables while he stands there.
Hunched over? What the hell?
Hey, let's go talk to Lyle. I look over at Blanka.
Look back at him, remembering that I failed my role last time, that she's still probably a little smitten with him.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this did not give you a happy feeling.
Oh, you saw somebody who you were kind of into, you're saying, doing the kissy kissy?
This is
it's my
Constance's
friend's
older
brother, and
Okay.
he's hot.
Ah, see, Robin hasn't been involved being in the servants' quarters.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, right now you're not in my graces, so I'm not going to bring you into the fold.
Yeah, that's totally fine because I won.
He
No.
shoves his hands in his pockets and begins to wander in your direction back across the road. He is whistling and kicking his feet while he walks.
Pick up a tennis ball, telekinetic projectile.
Where would you like to hit, Mr. Lyle?
Midsection, solar plexus.
Well, that's better than some options.
It's not quite enough to knock the wind out of him, but it seems to make him shake his head and come around a little bit. He looks across the road at the four of you and walks over to you. Are we playing tennis?
Yes. Cousin Martin is feeling a little under the weather. I need a partner.
Oh, good show. Yes, of course.
I look over at Blanka. You sure you want to do this again?
Bounce the ball with intent.
Lyle's
Let's
hair
go.
is
Yes.
twisted and messy like bedhead. He's got an enormous fresh hickey on his neck. His shirt is misbuttoned. And you've been with a gypsy werewolf.
Yeah.
You know the aroma.
Blanc is at a -2.
Pick a racket for him, something appropriate, hand it to him, stop and fix his buttons.
I think a -2 rage penalty is more than fair.
Yes, I accept it wholeheartedly.
Robin has no idea what the hell's going on, but this is going to be great.
Yeah. She
I get to
gets
play.
a scowl from Blanka that says something's happened and it's probably your fault.
Right. And she's like, good, bring it, bitch. Yes, let's do this.
Once he's all rebuttoned and he thanks you for that, he's not quite sure why he's rebuttoned. He doesn't seem to, and he gets himself all tucked in and puts that racket back and picks up another one that you see is monogrammed
Monogrammed, okay.
with
Steve.
L-I.
Steve.
He says, we're partners, yes?
Sir.
Good show.
Serve. Serve. It's my turn, right?
Lyle is a 21.
Oh. Shit.
So you will be at a 23 for plus.
Wait, well, no, because -2, 21.
Yes, 21. You are
Okay.
correct.
That's going to be very hard.
That may slip to a 15.
We have what, 15 is our
We have
total?
15. Yeah.
Yeah, 15
Yeah.
total. With your assistance, again, reminding Robin not to hit all the balls, but just the ones that are on her side. That kind of shit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
just
Like, stay.
This jackrabbit.
pew.
2 plus 15 equals 17. What did you roll? It's only a match.
15.
Yeah.
So you got a 36.
Crushing.
You do crush them.
Oh, I think I got hit by the ball a few times. She hit it directly. Ow! That's unsportsmanlike.
I'm taking the ones that he's not even close to, and I'm just like that. Don't. It's double, but we don't have to take turns.
So Lyle's quite impressed with the fury and passion that you put into tennis.
He doesn't get satisfaction from me today, not yet.
Match 2.
Match 2.
Okay, my turn. I'm looking, watching you.
Is she still enraged?
Oh, I'm feeling a little better now.
I
We
would
got
say that
one,
she's I would say that she has
but
calmed.
I'm not mad at you. I'm still mad at him.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
she's still
okay.
under the penalty.
Okay, I give
Still
her a wink and I
Fucking
toss
21.
it.
I give her a wink. Wait,
16.
Okay, that's
16.
good odds.
It's
Good
pretty
odds.
bad.
You got
It's good.
31.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but is it good enough for Blanka?
Yeah, well, she has to just go above a 10.
Nope.
Oh yes!
Did the wink throw her off? I just
Yeah.
got
The wink threw her off.
Banny used his own charm spell against her.
I really think that Blanka slips another 2.
Oh.
So you're down to a 19. Lyle's telling you, just take a deep breath. Calm down.
Shut up, play.
It's like that's for me to hit now.
Dragging the racket like a Cro-Magnon takes his wife home.
Nice. Tiebreaker.
we still I'm actually gonna calm down at this point. It's like, okay, this is just a game. This is just a game.
Serve it!
What? A game?
Go for it, Robin.
You told me that tennis is life. Oh! I mean, 16's good. 16's a good roll.
31.
Plus, what, 15 is 31?
Come on. Blanka,
Blanka's
you
a
got
plus
this.
19 at this
11.
point.
10.
Need an
Oh.
The match point now we are at.
Who's going to do the McEnroe? Robin is totally ready to do the McEnroe, or do we Blanka?
I know emotions are going to sway this thing towards a low number, but Blanka wants this badly, and she's shooting daggers across that net. 9.
Oh, no! It doesn't work for you!
28.
28 versus 31.
It's
Team
close.
Betty
We're probably gonna
Robin
deuce, and then it
wins
just
again.
grinds on and grinds on.
Are you going to smash or throw your racket?
It's going with a telekinetic projectile as far as I can throw it.
Bjorn clanks out onto the clay, puts an arm around you, and said, I've changed my mind. I like this game.
Try to push him and shove myself backwards instead.
This could easily be turned into full contact. I will work on it.
Viking tennis.
Look for
King tennis.
the lemon-flavored water that's got to be near the court somewhere.
Of course.
I walk up to Robin.
She just no, screw that.
Yeah.
She full on just grabs you, hugs you, legs
Arms
are in
and
the air.
legs.
You're fully supporting her. She is just thrilled, like she's suddenly a schoolgirl again. She won at some aristocratic bullshit sport.
Swings you around and sets you down
Yep.
and says, "There's a lot more to learn there." But
She gives you a full on kiss. This is a fucking awesome game. I want to learn how to really. I love this game.
you're a natural. You don't have to really push it too hard. You're
Oh,
Dude.
yes.
There's an odd sound coming from the lemonade or lemon water area as you see somebody striking their fists in the air, but the grass beneath her is shredding.
Now Robin's worried.
I'm trying to dial it down, it's like, okay.
Maybe you should go talk to her. I'm going to have some water not close to her. Oh my god. Oh.
I'm just gonna saunter over towards the water. Is this seat taken? Hey.
First seed or second? Wait, that's seed.
Hey. It's fine. That
Yeah. If I could get a better partner, this
I'll make it. I'll make it up to you. I'll make it up to you. It was completely undeserved. We screwed things up on the Martin thing. Lyle was just his own business, so that's not really our problem. But tell
I'm
me
sorry.
about.
No,
Lyle
I'm gonna
approaches
be-
the net, and he's very gracious and shakes hands with everybody, and he asks the attendant what time it is. The attendant says that it's just before 12, and he says, are any of you joining the hunt this afternoon?
We yes, we are.
There should be just enough time to get cleaned up, change, and be back at the stables by 1 o'clock. I know that they're going to serve us luncheon in the field. It's not something to be missed. He grabs your hand, Blanka, gives you a kiss on it, and says, thank you for a lovely game.
yank my hand away, give him just a foul look, and storm towards the house.
He trots past you, his typical athletic, I'm good at everything,
Yeah.
and good looking and rich too, kind of playboy.
It was a bad morning.
God, this is so awesome.
Jordan clanks along behind, chuckling.
It's
Now we get to shoot at things?
yeah.
It just gets worse for Blanka.
I'm gonna reach into my bag, but I'm gonna lag behind everybody else. I'm gonna reach into my bag and click on the tessimeter. Just to see
Yes.
Right to the red.
I'm doing a perception. I notice. What is it?
nothing.
No,
talking.
what is it?
It's fine.
She gives you the intimidate glare.
26. 26.
Good question.
It might be a 27 because I did actually bump up a level.
I did. Did I roll? I didn't roll for intimidate.
You don't
You did
need
not
that.
roll.
I did perception. No, I should, right?
What's your
is-
intimidate plus 10?
Oh, or intimidate plus 10. So that's good. Intimidate plus 10 would be only a 21.
Okay, I beat you.
You're cool.
I let it wash over me and go, that won't work on me. Good old Martin over there, he's like
What?
10 years younger than you. Is this just inherent? Is this the thing you pull? Yeah, you're inherent glare. Anyway, talk
She's
about
still bitch
RBG.
face at you, yes?
Yeah. Resting bitch face.
RBF.
RBF. I got the RBF.
You make your way back into the house. You disappear off to your rooms, where you all find appropriate fox hunting garb. It's the black trousers, the high black boots, white shirt, tie, even for the girls, red jacket. The girls do get white gloves, no gloves for the men, and everybody gets that snazzy helmet.
Totally.
I mean, we're down in the servants with Bjorn and Robin. Do we act?
Oh, the servants, once they find out that you're coming along on the hunt, you're given the clothing. When everybody musters back up near the gardens, three of you look like you're ready for fox hunting, and Bjorn.
Well, and I would say Blanka notices that rather than the boots that were the default provided, she chose the ones that Blanka chose with her in Paris instead, that were much fucking like sexier for her legs.
And you wear your sexy boots. Were they black or were they brown?
Blanka, what was the fashion?
Well, it was for Robin. Of course it was black.
Oh, fuck.
Then,
Robin.
then you are appropriately booted. Out on the patio that you first got to before you go out to the across the gardens, you can see across to where the stable is. There's a lot of activity going on over there. Looks like people that are very commonly dressed are moving around. They're leading horses. One of the horses is just fucking enormous. It looks almost like a Clydesdale,
Jeez.
and they are saddling it.
Is
Out
that for
here on
Bjorn?
Yeah, this is for Bjorn. It's right.
Out here on the patio with the servants, a small cocktail bar has been set up. The Colonel is here, Martin, Lyle, Victoria, the older sister, and Constance. Everybody is dressed for the fox hunt. And there is a gentleman out here who's dressed all in, he's got a tweed jacket and vest, white shirt and tie. He looks like he's probably about 60. Full white beard, wearing a soft cap, boots, and he's got a shotgun cradled in his arm.
That must be Pedrig.
He's introduced as Mr. Padraig, and he's our gamekeeper.
Noel.
The Colonel seems to be very respectful with Mr. Padraig. He says that he's been with the estate ever since he retired from the service. He's responsible for maintaining, breeding, and training the estate's dogs. He helps organize the hunts, and he maintains his lordship's weaponry. He's a qualified breeder and gunsmith. He's able to track and dress game, and he will be riding with us because we have folks with us that may be new to the sport.
So Blanka
Drake takes off his hat and makes his manners. He shakes the men's hands. He kisses the ladies' hands. He has a very strong tier accent, but he still speaks to where anybody who speaks any form of Cornish can understand him.
Excellent.
Did Blanka, what did she do with Last Light? She couldn't do anything with it, so when we changed into hunting gear, she's carrying Last Light now. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I am
still,
or you are. I am or you are.
I thought you just said you couldn't affect Last Light, so
I can't transform it in any way.
You could wear it for hunting garb, though. So you could wear Last Light right now.
So she'll carry Last Light here and the pin, which is Papa, here.
Yeah, put it on your lapel or wherever you like.
I do have my Toro. I actually hand the little Remington over to Blanka. You want this?
No.
Okay.
I like rifles for hunting.
Well, and then I have the Henry over my shoulder.
Everyone has
the big horn. Sorry, the big horn 66.
The big horn, yeah.
It's 12 noon, and everybody has a shot of sherry. And there is also a small tray of canapes for anybody that's interested in it.
Canapes.
Please describe what canapes is for those of us who are uninitiated.
I will. The canapes on the silver plate, they introduce the beluga caviar. It looks like more goose liver pate, but they introduce it as foie gras with toast and pickles. There is an onion and goat cheese tart, and there seem to be oysters.
Ooh. Oh, Banny's going to go a little nuts on the oysters.
Yeah. Bjorn helps himself to something of everything.
And after it's inhaled. So Robin approaches Bjorn and says, so are you just going to, she looks at his axe and his back. Are you just going to cut it?
Cut what?
We're hunting, I think I heard them say fox,
I'm not hunting foxes.
Oh, you'll just be guarding.
I'm making sure that my pretty friends don't get hurt in this foreign country.
Thanks.
You see
what I do. He's holding an oyster shell and just doesn't know what to do with it. He's not sure he should just pitch it over the railing. He's already eaten it.
Oh, he's already eaten it.
Doesn't
Oh
know
yeah,
what to do
What
with
do I
the
do with
shell.
Yeah.
yeah. I would. I
He
actually.
looks like he's going to set it on the balcony railing.
I will actually. Well, yeah, I will. I'll slurp it and I'll throw it discreetly off the railing. Give him a pass so that he can do that if he wants to.
Blanka is horrified by her friend's lack of social graces.
What's great
It
is
pulls her out
Robin
of her
follows,
stupor.
Robin follows Benny's example because, like, that's apparently what you do.
And Lyle is being very attentive to you, Blanka.
It's because you pissed him off.
Almost as if he can't understand why you got a little snitty with him. He is in every way the attentive suitor.
Oyster? Balcony.
Oh, teaching her such
footman.
bad things.
Is this an episode of The Tudors?
Mr. Padraig, after everybody's had their sherry, he leads you down through the gardens over to the stables, where he introduces Mr. Riley, who is the estate's chief groom. He's in charge of the horse breeding. He is the riding instructor. He will not be joining the hunt, but he has picked out horses for everyone who's a visitor. He is also a breeder, and it looks like he supervises the stableman. His brogue is not unintelligible, but the stablemen, when they talk to each other,
Marbles.
oh yeah, you've never heard Cornish spoken as ancient Aramaic, but it might as well be. Blanka, you get a beautiful stallion.
Hot. I mean,
Robin, you also get a stallion.
Me?
Fanny, you get one too. All
Oh.
three of you have male horses.
I'm gonna say I
And-
got a gelding. Oh.
The big boy is for Bjorn.
Oh, yes. The giant Clydesdale.
It's a
Thank God.
big fucking horse.
I can't even imagine.
Otherwise, it would be dead. He gets on it. Like,
Just fold in half when he sits on top of it.
Inspect the horse to see if it's used to wearing a yoke used to pull a wagon.
Big old shoulders, and it's like, oh, this guy's heavy.
You realize that the mane is a wig and it's actually an ox.
all right, let's go.
So everybody saddles up. Mr. Padraig, you see him chit-chat with Bjorn a little bit. Bjorn nods. He has not mounted up yet, and he asks, who will be hunting, who is here just to ride, and who would like to blow the horn.
What is the significance of blowing the horn for this setting?
Calling the
You know that it's generally there will be one or two horn blowers. It's mostly to kind of get everybody in the spirit of it. The theory is that it keeps the foxes moving, but in reality, it's the dozen hounds that keep the foxes moving. It's a very simple sport. It's mostly about riding fast, drinking, and congratulating yourselves on being masters of the world. The hounds do all the work, and then once it's cornered, that's when you decide whether or not you will actually shoot it or let the hounds have it. But it doesn't end well for the fox.
In any case.
In any case.
And
then it's off to more drinking. But Mr. Padraig says, who will be hunting? And he sees you raise your hand, and he goes into the stables. He comes out with a beautiful over-under double-barrel shotgun and hands you a belt of shotgun shells.
Are you not allowed to use the pistol? Um,
For fox
pistol.
hunting? No, dearie.
I shoot. She's trying in Cornish. I shoot like a big gun.
He looks over at Blanka with like,
Scratch, scratch.
is she serious?
Like, nod towards him, like, be the instructor you are. Show her the proper way.
He returns the favor by speaking Cornish slowly so you can understand.
At least it's not just louder.
He shows you how to load the shotgun
But,
and
I mean, okay. Yeah.
tells you about the fox,
Chicken prong, chicken
that you shoot the fox. And he has you hold the shotgun
Wait.
and he points it over at Banny and then goes,
No.
Whoa. I put my hands
points
up.
it back at you and points it straight up.
Wait. Je comprends. Okay. Yes, thank you.
Will anyone else be shooting?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at Blanka.
He brings you a beautiful double barrel. This one's side by side, etched walnut stock. Do you need instruction in this, darling?
Just nod, but not surrender high ground for morality's sake.
He gives you the basics. There's few weapons simpler to load and fire, but he does. It almost feels like he's familiar, but he reaches up and he almost caresses the socket, the part of your shoulder where this needs to go into. And then he tucks in the butt. He says, dearie, if you do pull the trigger, make sure this thing is tight in this socket or you'll be playing no more tennis for a while.
Pay really close attention. I know I suck with firearms. I just went back and recertified, and my hands still ache from that exercise. But I'm not going to relinquish any power in this moment.
Right?
So I take it, hold it to the way he showed me to the best of my ability, but I know I'm never going to be great at this. But I want to show off a little bit for Robin.
And now you're worried about what will happen if you don't do it right.
I don't want to break my shoulder by pulling the trigger of it.
Right.
Robin has it resting on her thigh. She smiles at you. Doesn't betray the fact that she knows you're awkward at all.
This day gets worse and worse.
Danny,
She's not betraying it. She doesn't give you a look like.
do you plan to be shooting, sir?
Do we need to do an offering or anything for the one who keeps the foxes?
Well, that would be me, sir. I've got 4 or 5 in a coop at my house, but I only brought the one.
Okay.
I go out and trap them myself.
I see. Do you have a deal with the mistress who keeps the foxes?
Not sure I'll take your meaning, sir.
Okay. I'm not gonna hunt.
Would you care to blow the horn?
Yeah, I'll blow the horn.
He brings you a trumpet with a red tassel hanging off of it. He says, you blow it whenever you wish, sir. After we go to Roundstone and kick the hunt off proper. Everybody else, Lyle, Constance, Victoria, Martin, and the Colonel all select shotguns. So you are the only one not having a shotgun, but you've got your trusty horn.
Cast Banny a glance.
I still have the big horn over my shoulder just in case. But yeah.
Just throw
Very
Banny
well.
a tiny bit of respect for restraint, because I know he could do this way better.
I don't know. These people and their tennis. Kicking my ass all over the place. You know, when you do it your whole life, you're really good at it. So hard
Well,
to
this is
say.
the only thing you do, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Padraig leads you off down the road, and it's just a trot for everybody. Nobody's moving hard. He tells you that you'll pick up the dogs in Roundstone, and then we'll be about our business. And he begins singing a song that all of the family members immediately take up. It's not a song that you're familiar with. It seems to all be in tier Cornish, which the family members manage quite easily. That sounds very much like this is some kind of a tradition, and it almost sounds like a drinking song, and almost scandalous for the upper crust to sing a song like this. But they all seem to be letting their hair down a bit when they're out here in the field.
I just realized that Blanka is the only woman here. Is she the only woman here?
What?
No, Constance is here, and so
Constance
is Victoria.
here. Okay. Victor, that's right. Victoria's here. I didn't.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Oh yes, and Robin.
Yeah, the one who kissed
way
you on
you-
the fucking, the one that kissed you on the fucking mouth after the tennis match.
I have been kissed by Bjorn before. I'll just say it was sloppy. It was messy.
Okay, that won't happen again.
You do not notice.
Make your
Cousin
kissing roll.
Hyacinth,
Let's
she
see
is
if you
not
didn't
here.
suck. So is she the only woman here?
Except for the other four women, yes.
I have a. See, I just
drinking
blind
problem?
spot.
it is a unfortunate blind spot. Yes, I'm sorry.
Robin is the Faye Valentine of this group.
Exactly. She settles in with all the guys too well for her own good.
Ken, it's probably a good time that we don't automatically think female when we look at you in your little corner box here.
Corn box?
Corner box.
Corner box.
I see where your head goes.
Yeah, but I'm playing Robin. I'll change my name, damn it.
Wear a wig next time. That'll be better.
There you go.
So, Mr. Padraig leads this singing, trotting group past the polo field, down the road until you reach the bridge that you first came in on. You clatter across the bridge. You pass other servants from time to time that are walking along the road. Most of them are groundskeepers. They immediately take off their hats and bow as everybody passes. You go across the stone bridge, and instead of turning down the road that would take you back to the gates, you head deeper into the estate. After about 10 minutes, you pass a small cottage that the colonel identifies as the vicar's cottage. Shame what happened to that, man. And then you continue deeper in. There is a fork that would take you north onto the property. Mr. Padraig says you'll be heading up that way soon. And straight ahead, after a while through the trees, you begin to see what looks like a very small village up ahead.
Guide the horses towards the village ahead. Look for signage or something that indicates the name of the village we're headed to.
You don't see any signage, but the colonel tells you that this is Roundstone. It's not a proper village. It looks that way, but it's a home for the on-property staff and their families. Some of the staff lives in Clifton, but most of the staff lives here. As you ride into this place, you see they're all 1- and 2-story cottages, mostly stone. couple of smaller kids are out playing. The whole thing is built in kind of a circle, all around the center of a domed piece of green streaked marble that is sticking out of the ground. Imagine something maybe the size of a suitcase, but perfectly smooth. It looks like it's half buried. And there's strange inscriptions carved deep into the marble. Within Roundstone, you see that there's a dairy with cows. You see chicken coops. There is a small distillery that you can pick up on, and a greenhouse, a smith's workshop, half a dozen cottages, and a small stone building that has a shingle hanging out over the front, and it says the White Lady and has an image of a woman in flowing white robes.
What is?
Everybody pulls up in front of the White Lady and starts to dismount. Padraig collects the shotguns and leans them against the front of the building.
Dismount, join the entourage.
The colonel goes right into the building.
Follow behind the colonel. I'm curious. I remember in school we studied a little bit that the Magnetians are very prideful about their distilling and how that relates to their clan origins, but it's still kind of a mystery to me.
What you quickly see is that this is a tiny pub. There is a bar that doesn't have any stools. There are 2 tables with chairs, a bench along the wall, and a door to the back that goes you're not sure where. There's a man standing behind the bar. He's polishing mugs. He's not as big as Bjorn, but he works for a living. He looks like a stocky, beefy kind of guy. He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's wearing the classic gray wool vest. He gives kind of a tap of the forehead. Afternoon, Colonel, sir. And the colonel says, O'Leary, these are the guests of the manor for however long they wish to stay. And O'Leary gives each of you a warm smile and gestures at you to approach the bar and says, what will you be having as you prepare to set off on your haunt?
What is the house drink?
He grins from ear to ear, and he says, that'll be Old Tegan.
Point to Banny, point to Banny and Robin, and twice at Bjorn. Make sure my friends are well introduced to Tegan.
Everybody else, including the women other than Robin, also have Old Tegan poured for them.
What do you mean other than Robin?
I didn't point to Robin.
The colonel raises a glass and he says, to all who've fallen, gone but not forgotten. And he slams it down.
Is Robin glassless? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was making a joke about how you were forgotten in the whole how many women are here type of
yeah. Making sure that we weren't having a scene right here in the boat.
No scenes.
She'll go dark right here in the middle.
Yeah,
exactly. The whiskey is kind of dark. It's kind of smoky, but it's powerful stuff. And there's something about it that just is very, very appealing. It's certainly not 55-year-old Scotch, but it's got its own charms.
Does it carry the peatiness typical of the Magnetian?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a home brew. And O'Leary tells you that he and his brother distill it out back. And it's made exclusively for Drachenfels. You
Fantastic.
can't buy this in any village or any city anywhere in the world. Only here in Drachenfels, and it's always on the house.
Blanka's still carrying a little bit of a chip on her shoulder from the tennis match and the current relationship with her childhood crush. And she's looking to wash away some of that angst.
This is the stuff that will do it. The colonel looks at all of you and says, "Again?"
Again?
O'Leary pours for everybody, and you see that every time he pours for you guys, he pours for himself as well. So he's not going to be left out of this.
Of course.
Bjorn appreciates Blanka's gesture of 2 for him, and he knocks them both back in the same amount of time.
Her slight frame, she can't consume at the rate she's consuming without trouble.
Yeah. After even 2 shots of this stuff, you're probably going to be at a -1 to accomplish different tasks. What's that?
Constitution check of some sort, difficulty. We can
She weighs about 90 pounds, soaking wet, holding a brick. I think she's at a -1.
And little rosy cheeked, feeling her oats, knowing she's got winning in her court. The next thing she does is going to be awesome.
Is she warming to Lyle at all? Does she allow herself to warm to him?
She kind of can't help it because
he's so damn good looking and athletic.
How good looking is Lyle?
She's going to throw her venom towards Robin anyway, because there's this older woman with everything that she ever wanted physically, and this rube of a noble next to her that's not paying proper attention. This is just the worst case scenario.
How attractive is this Lyle?
Oh my God!
Now she has 2 in her.
Yeah, Lyle got a little bit more attractive, but so did Martin. Martin got a whole lot more attractive. I think he's a good-looking boy to begin with. Mm-hmm. Lyle is like George Clooney, Gregory Peck, Brad Pitt, that kind of category.
Go on about the boy.
Martin is Martin's a very good-looking young man, all of 20, oozing confidence, roguish charm, immaturity, but he's probably hung like a donkey and can go for days.
And he hasn't shown any kind of bullyish sort of behavior that I've seen.
You were the one who bullied him.
Is just arrogance. Well, and then you scared the shit out of him.
Yes.
And he keeps sneaking looks at you down the bar, but
he's
that's
made.
As far as it goes.
He's made. Robin is on him like it's a fox hunt. And he's the fox. Yes.
And you found one. He's really nervous as you talk to him, which is clearly out of his character.
Blanka smiles that Robin's attentions are not on her target.
Yes. And Lyle's kind of digging you, Blanka. He seems extremely interested in you.
Yeah.
There's the girl eye exchange that takes place. She suddenly looks over towards Martin and a little bit, and then exchange, and she just goes in that direction, right? Yes.
Yeah. Divide and conquer.
You do notice that kind of is making the colonel scowl a bit is that Bjorn is standing super close to Constance, and he's whispering in her ear, and she's giggling and blushing every time he says something. And you just see this shit-eating, I'm going to use her like a farm animal look on Bjorn's face.
It's the accent,
familiar with.
Yeah, it's the accent.
Oh, this is beautiful. I'm just gonna look at take the temperature of the room and step outside for a little bit.
He wants to look for farm animals.
Do they transform?
I need something that's got a little spice to it. I don't know.
Danny, roll a perception.
Not awesome. It's
Come
a
on, Andrew.
17.
Plus?
That's
Oh,
it.
that's it. Oh.
From where you're standing,
18, sorry. But
you can see part of the distillery, and for a moment, it can't be because it's impossible. But you see that there's a man in the doorway of the distillery. He looks like he's only about 3 feet tall. He is dressed almost in colonial garb, but it's all bright orange. He's wearing a tri-cornered hat. He is smoking a pipe. And you see him so quickly, and then you don't, that you're not sure if maybe the whiskey has given you a quick hallucination.
I'm going to see if I can stabilize that thought. I'm going to just call out and just say, you want some more? Or you want
Nothing.
some? Okay. I'll pull it back in. Wow, these guys are everywhere. And maybe this one doesn't exist. I guess we'll see.
Well, this one looked like 3 times taller than the one you may have seen inside the house. Because your guy was like 10 to 12 inches. This guy's more like 3 feet tall. Bearded, rosy cheeks, friggin' blown red nose.
I'm actually going over to the roundstone. And silly me, I'm going to pull out the tessimeter again.
Right to the red.
Fuck. I'm going to do a little inspection on this stone. And if I get a good view of the pattern, 16 plus, that's 31. 30, yeah, 31.
Nice.
I'm going to see if I can pull out my little pad of paper, and I'm going to sketch out what I see on the stone as best I
You
can.
sketch it out. Even with a 31, it's completely incomprehensible to you. You've never seen it. You've never seen lines put together in this kind of pattern. Makes no sense. It looks almost like scribble to you.
I'll mimic it as best I can and put my hand on the stone and say, give us a good hunt, and I will make an offering, although you're going to have to tell me what that is. And then
don't we all love that noise?
yeah, default iPhone. That's what I hear.
So what do you do after you do notice that there's, other than the children, you don't see anybody else in the village, and you realize that's probably because it's the middle of a work day and they're all off and doing their thing. But
I'm going to pour a little bit at the base of the stone and then walk back towards the distillery.
you pour whiskey on the ground.
Yep.
You hear somewhere behind you a voice that says, "What the feckin' shite did you just do?"
I hold my cup straight up, turn around and look.
You see the little guy standing in the doorway of the distillery, and he's standing there. He's, like I said, he's in bright orange. He has a shamrock pinned to his tricorn hat. He's wearing buckled shoes, red and white striped stockings, a brass button coat. He's got red hair. He's got one eye popping open, and he is holding a bottle of Old Tegan and holding a glass in the other one. He's got the pipe sticking out of his mouth, and he is just glaring at you like you just committed a mortal sin.
Oh, shit.
How do I make an offering? I don't know how this works.
He shakes his head and mutters and walks back into the distillery.
I look around. I'm gonna walk towards the distillery.
You walk toward the distillery. The door is wide open. Um, as you walk in, it's not very big. It's kind of like a long, almost like a long shack or a long barn. Closest by is the distillery equipment and the raw materials, and further down are the barrels. Some are suspended by ropes from up above. And you see this gentleman sitting on one of the barrels, pouring himself another glass, and he kind of gives you an eyeball as you walk in. Goes
I'm,
back to pouring.
I'm gonna sit against the wall, lean against the wall with my glass, and I say, "Cheers."
He holds up his glass. He's got a like a highball glass, but he's got the thing almost 3/4 filled with Old Tegan. And he just starts draining it, watching you the whole time. When he's done, he wipes it across his hand and says, "You must be Icenian, as only a brain-damaged moron like an Icenian would pour good Tegan out on the dirt.
Oh,
Do you not have a keeper to make sure that you don't make an ass of yourself?
no, I don't.
Come here to me now, boy. Come here to me."
I walk cautiously towards him, but I've still got my glass up and I'm sipping from it as I go. Not actually from Icenia.
Then why are you acting like a gobdaw pox?
I know a Norman. He pours things on the ground all the time. And
Normans
often.
are Egypts.
Well, who do we offer it to? You already got a glass, so I don't need to give you any more of this.
He pours more. You offering what to who?
I don't know.
What you're doing is pouring good spirit into the dirt, and that's a sin.
And I please, if you're my benefactor, please forgive me. But
You're banner. What?
don't worry about it.
I know you're all lured up to be talking to me, but I think that you need to go take a deuter and find your wand and carry on. Because I won't have you just faffing about in here with me. He drinks a little bit more. Actually, he drinks the glass again.
What is the good stuff? Is it just Old Tegan, or do you have a special reserve?
What are you talking about?
Do you have a special reserve? Of course you got a special reserve.
Now you're not matching him drink for drink, are you?
No, I'm not. I've still got one glass. I can't fill it.
This guy makes Bjorn look like a prohibitionist.
3/4 glass gone. I mean, the other guy was doing the same thing.
And he keeps pouring too. It's just what do you mean better? Better than Old Tegan?
Well, do you have like a special batch? Maybe a select reserve or something of that nature?
They always reserve some for me. He starts laughing because that's just hilarious. And he seems to forget that he's holding a glass and just starts slugging it right out of the bottle. What's your name, Boyle?
My name's Benny. What's yours?
Benny the Icenian.
No, but
pleased to meet you. Seamus McPhee at your service.
Hello, Seamus. Do you have any friends in the Cornish knocker variety?
Where are Cornish knockers from?
They're Cornish. They hang out in the castle.
What?
Oh.
Where's Cornish? That's a language, boy. You are Icenian.
I,
You're bigger Egypt than a Norman. That's what I think.
they're in. I mean, we're in Magnetia, but they're in the castle. The knockers, they're smaller.
Knockers.
That's what I thought they said.
Are you talking about the small folk?
So, in comparison, you're kind of small to me. They're smaller to you.
Aye. They're wee folk.
The wee folk.
What's your point, boy? Am I using too big of words for you?
Oh, it's really actually hard for me to understand everything right now.
Well, that's because you're a floatered, boyo.
Floatered.
If you can't hold your liquor, I'll hold it for you. And he thinks that's crazy funny, and he's slapping his knee. Inside the pub, the two of you need to roll a perception, please.
At least to notice that Danny has disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh, me as well?
To two of us.
You guys would
Yeah,
be
both of you.
operating at a negative anyway.
22. That was a ring.
18.
Somebody's not here. You're not sure who it is.
Even with 22, like somebody's not here.
It could be Banny, but he might have walked off to have himself a piss.
Let's be honest, right? Because like now I'm snuggling up and just trying to get my, my boy who's kind of like scared of me, and like that's got Robin going kind of like an overdrive. And meanwhile, like she's trying to get her flame to remember who she was from back in the day.
You're feeling him, and he's feeling like he can't walk away, but you're starting to pick up some of that pheromone musk coming off of him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's going full Mrs. Robinson on his ass.
Oh, well, he's definitely engaged and on board.
And honestly, Robin will glance and see if Bjorn becomes jealous, or if he notices because he's busy drinking.
Bjorn is busy flirting with the Colonel's daughter.
Yeah. Good luck.
And Banny went into the wind because he wants no responsibility for
exactly
anything that's going on.
There is nothing to worry about here.
So there's a lot of chit chat going on, but not a lot of drinking right now. The bartender's not pouring anymore. Perhaps he knows you're off on a ride with loaded weapons. Maybe not the best time to get you all flutered. Out in the distillery, Seamus takes his hat off. He's completely bald underneath. And there is somebody standing on his head who's also dressed all in orange with a long flowing beard and an enormous nose. And he waggles his fingers, and Seamus puts his hat back on and covers him up.
I'm so confused. But I will leave you to your work.
So, what? You're not going to ask me about my gold?
I don't.
Sounds like he's getting a little flutered too.
Robin sure would.
I am not going to ask you about your gold.
That's a fine thing. Because I don't have any. Woe is me. Do you have any for me?
I have some paper. I have no gold. Paper. They use paper for gold these days. Paper.
Boyo, gold is for gold.
I know, but you can take this paper and I'll pull out my wallet and I will pull out.
You'll pull out your wallet?
Pull out the two.
He stands up on the barrel and reaches for his button fly. Shall we pull them out and see who's got the biggest one? I'll bet you a gold piece that hung bigger than you.
You're on. You are on. But I don't have gold. I only have paper.
Oh, I'm sure you're good for it.
Everybody says that.
You got some magic on you. I took that instead.
Uh-oh.
Live.
And just like that, Fanny loses his rune weapon.
I unbuckle and I say on the count of 3, right?
Yep. 1,
1,
2, 3.